Mm. Uh-huh. Hmm. think that might be all the songs that I know. Hmm. Yep. Well, some anime songs, maybe. Christmas carols. Hmm. I think that is probably about all the songs that I know. Well, half know. Right, so this here is koi carp skin. In New Zealand, there are feral koi carp. They are a noxious pest for some reason. There's no natural predators, and they stir up the turbidity in the streams, and so you're allowed to hunt them. And so I went bow fishing because I wanted to try see if koi carp worked for the resonating membrane. And well, I shot one on Saturday, prepared it, and stuck it on, and finished this a couple days ago. This bamboo is from a friend's house, just about 10 minutes drive away. They left it out, and so it got slightly moldy near the bottom, but I've cut off most of the moldy part. I also heat tempered it, so that probably killed the rest of the mold. It's reasonably low density, I think, which might help the acoustic properties. Who knows? This is a bit harder. This is Philostachus aurea. There's a golden fishpole bamboo. It's got it from a hedge out in the opposite direction, and heat tempered it as well. It's got a really nice finish after being heat tempered. Philostachus aurea seems to take on a really nice gloss when you heat tempered it, if you get it right. This bamboo here, I think it's Oldham's bamboo, doesn't seem to get as nice when heat treated. So the neck is a lot higher density. Getting this fit right was quite difficult. It was really time consuming. I need to figure out a better way to do it. This string here prevents, I just thought of it, just prevents the strings from touching the membrane. Originally, I was going to tie like one of those, the knots that the Japanese kokyu use on their three-stringed fiddle, but it didn't quite work out when I tried to tie the knot. Also, the knot would be a bit big, so I just gone for the easy option of just wedging it there. It's okay, bit messy. I'll probably cut it shorter. These tuning pegs here are pine wood dowels because that's what I had available. I originally was going to fit them to this, but I decided the color coordination would be nicer with this golden fishpole bamboo. Looks a bit weird with the small tuning pegs, but if it looks too small, I could potentially wrap them in the leftover of this rope and then have them with rope coiled around it. Maybe you can add more torque, but I find like there's enough torque that I can get from here anyway. Well, they look a bit small, but oh well, a bit thin. But it seems sturdy enough for now. Drilling the holes, now that was a little bit difficult, and shaping the tuning pegs and the thing. But actually, it's more this hole which is important rather than this hole. Yeah, it's got a solid end, because I thought, well, might as well. Originally, I was thinking, I was half considering turning this into a shell flute instead. But then I decided, well, I've got plenty of shell flutes already. I made quite a few. Might as well see how it is. And the thickness of the neck is actually fairly comfortable. This actually feels a lot easier to play than one with a thinner neck, which I made the second instrument out of. So this is the third one that I've made. Using the koi carp skin. The second one was using a kahawai skin, a saltwater marine fish in New Zealand. I like the kahawai fish quite a lot. Tastes okay, reasonably abundant, reasonably ethical, and the skin pattern is quite nice as well. Although that one has a slightly sweeter tone, I think, compared to this koi cup. I think, or it could just be because of the way that I treated the skin. Who knows? This here is it's probably not needed, but it's a preventative measure. I think just in case a split starts appearing between these two holes, this should at least stop the split from spreading. I'm not really sure how tight the bindings are usually done on flutes, but there's a bit of tension. It's not a lot, but it's enough to keep it from sliding. So this here is the strings and the bridge I ordered online. I have tried making my own bridges, but just for the price, might as well just get them online. But I mean, in a pinch, if you wanted to make everything yourself, it probably would be possible. You could, although that means, yeah, you can probably find silk. There's some silkworms in New Zealand apparently. Just be a bit of a pain to coil the string yourself, and they would slip over time. They would stretch over time as well. So I'm still going with the professional ready-made erhu strings. The bow, I have tried making my own. Obviously, I didn't make this one, but this one I did. Bending it was a little bit difficult. I did snap a few. Obviously, heat it so that it can bend, and then you have to bend it and hold it in place as it cools. Bit fiddly. Fiddly. This here is just a bit of thread, but I do know people with horses who may be willing to donate some horsehair. I was thinking about making a few and trying to sell them at a farmer's market or something, and giving people the option of, if they want ethically sourced horsehairs, they must donate a certain amount to the Kaimanawa Horse Welfare Fund. That was an idea that I had. Still trying to think about it, because it does take a bit of effort to make these instruments. I need to figure out an easy way, especially to get this hole carved easier. That was probably the most. I didn't expect it to be the most difficult, but that was. Yeah, and actually the rest of it. I mean, it took a bit of time to figure out how to treat the skin and whatnot, but the fitting this, filing it to get it to fit just perfectly was a bit of a pain. Like, tuning peg holes are not actually that critical in sizing. What else? Yeah, so I think I could make just about everything from New Zealand source materials except the string, because I think just for the price and for the performance and for the reliability of the metal strings you can get overseas, it's not really worth trying to make your own, unless you want a distinct sound. You could probably use horsehair, like the actual mooring curve, and then use horsehair strings. That could be an option. So yeah, almost 100%. Oh, the pine obviously is grown in New Zealand. This hedge bamboo is in New Zealand. This is 10 minutes drive away. Here is about an hour's drive away, and about an afternoon of hunting around for koi carp, trying to shoot them. I did eat the rest of the koi carp. I mean, not the rest of it. I filleted it, and I cooked it, and it tasted okay. Apparently, most of the muddy flavor is in the other parts. So after you skin it and whatnot. Also, it was a pretty small one, so maybe the flavor wasn't as strong. The string obviously is probably from imported cotton. I don't think New Zealand grows its own cotton, but we could use New Zealand flax for. Um, you can get fiber from the New Zealand flax. It used to be exported as a major fiber. Foxton, the town, the estuary town in the Manawatu, used to be a major port for exporting flax. The industry kind of died out because of the competition from the three other natural fibers in the global market. But as for the sake of making it just a bit of string, you can still get some New Zealand flax fairly easily. So, I mean, that would just fit in with the whole idea of sustainable local materials. One thing which isn't quite sustainable though is the amount of labor time used, because obviously you need to feed people, and people don't necessarily want to live particularly sustainably, and so yeah, the more labor involved, I guess, the more time and more opportunity cost from making these instruments you'd get that you take away from putting people to work doing other more sustainable things. But obviously, you have to draw the line somewhere. Yeah, my tuning pegs, taper. All right. Also, having a thicker dowel for taking the pressure off the string as a prophylactic measure. That's always a good idea. Well, what did I use to protect the thing? Yeah, I just used sticking plaster. That's probably made of plastic or something. But I did think about You can stick a piece of fish skin on just as extra reinforcement there. That is an option. Oh, how did I glue? Well, there are various glues you can use. I've tried making isinglass. I'll try that next time. But this time I used a synthetic glue for this. Yeah. So hopefully that you find that interesting.